In this week's chapter of Naruto Gaiden, the Uchiha have been revived, thanks to this weird, mysterious, hooded figure who is reviving the Akatsuki and also seems to have the power to recreate the Ten Tails, except it's not exactly the Ten Tails, it's kind of like what happens when you breed Migi from Parasite with the actual Ten Tails. This week's chapter was pretty exciting because, one, we finally got some ninja action, and two, we finally got to learn the names of one of these brand new mystery villains who goes by the name of Shin Uchiha.
Very exciting chapter. One, we had a little bit of a slow start, in my opinion.
Extremely slow start.
We saw some interesting stuff. One, we saw that Choji's daughter is like all the worst parts of him. Mm-hmm. All she does is talk about food. It's to the point where it's almost like too much of a joke. It's like you guys are driving that into the ground. Mm-hmm. What were we gonna say?
And she's such a carbon copy of Choji,
but
like
only
in every single
parts.
way. Yeah, that's the one thing. She even uses like the same expansion jutsu techniques, which she does use to pretty cool effect in this week's chapter. But I was hoping for something maybe a little more unique from her character.
Yeah, she had the multi-size bitch slap going on in this chapter. But one of the things that I found really interesting about the beginning, actually one of my only things, is that you see the rivalry between the two main children characters. Mm-hmm. Like, because she's like, I'm gonna go deliver this food, and then he's like, no, I'm gonna do it, and then you just see them like stare at each other, and you're like, okay, there's that rivalry we always see in the series between the two main characters, and it's still gonna be there. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing they have like recreated the series, but at the same time not strayed so far away to the point where it doesn't feel like a Naruto series anymore. Mm-hmm. It still feels like Naruto. Mm-hmm. The fight at the end, awesome. Team action. That's the one thing. Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. Everyone fights by themselves. But in Naruto, everyone fights as a team. That's always the way it works. And that's something I always find very interesting. They're not super powerful. They can't destroy planets. Unless there's certain characters, they can destroy like mountains and shit. But that's as far as it goes. But it's the teamwork that always, shows off the writing style and the fighting style of the show. And I just really liked it. It felt like Naruto again.
That's one of the big themes of Naruto as well, is basically just working with your friends, the power of friendship. As cheesy as it really is, it is one of the main driving forces of the series. Now, before I get to the action, the real thing that I liked about the beginning of the chapter is that they're still just driving home the fact that Sarada Uchiha resents Boruto a little bit, because Boruto is just so spoiled by his family. He's always with his mom, he's always with his dad, and he's feeling neglected by the father, and that's why he doesn't want to deliver the food. And Sarada's like, no, I'm going to do it. At least you have someone to go back home to. My deadbeat dad hasn't been seen for years, and that's why she wants to go out of her way to actually help out Naruto. It's when we finally get to... Or Boruto.
Or whoever you actually meant. Sorry, my
Maybe
bad.
I did. I don't know. It's confusing, the Boruto and Naruto thing. But the thing that I thought was really interesting, though, is finally getting to see the face of that one, like, pseudo-leader of Akatsuki, because everybody's trying to come up with their theories for this character, and his face looks creepy as all hell. Basically, he just looks like this standard-looking guy. He has this Sharingan eye, and it seems like it's being, like, forcibly held open with these stitches or this weird, like, curse-sealed jutsu ability.
Maybe he's, like, sponsored by Visine, because it's like he needs some eye drops and that shit.
It definitely needs some damn eye drops. His eyes were red and evil-looking as shit. And looking at the character's face, I kept trying to see if it was similar to anyone else's. It doesn't resemble anyone in particular. He does have some similarities to Shisui Uchiha, who has been one character that a lot of people has been saying that this is who this is. And only I say that because of the way his lips look and the way his actual nose looks. It has kind of like that flat Shisui look. And I don't know if
let's say it is him, but maybe it's just his body. Mm-hmm. There's something that
could very well be the case. Yeah, someone could be somehow manipulating his body. For all we know, this could be like the actual like Ten Tails trying to like bring itself back together and like inhabiting people's body.
Yeah, because that was definitely a mini Ten Tails. It had the Renengan looking eye in the middle with the lines, and it had the same skin and texture looking thing. And so obviously someone that makes them evil right away.
Yeah,
they got those.
Yeah. He's using the Ten Tails. He's a bad guy.
Yeah. So it's definitely interesting, and it shows that this guy has a very good understanding of the ninja world. He's not just some strong guy with a badass lightning technique that thinks he can take on the world. This is a person that has large amounts of knowledge of the ninja world. That's something else I always wondered. Before the Leaf Village had a bad problem of keeping secrets from the village. There's the elderly, I forget their names, but like the elderly couple that knew about what Danzo was doing. Danzo was the root, the shadow organization underneath the leaf. And they got rid of all that. But did they tell the village everything that happened after Naruto and Sasuke got back from the war? Like, what happened? How did they forgive Sasuke in a lot of ways? what does the village know? And I think that that's interesting because it's almost like, in a way, repeating itself, if, you know, like keeping secrets from everyone. I mean,
they're clearly keeping something secret because Sarada doesn't even know like the full truth behind her birth and how that's all happening. You know, they're trying to keep something.
Well, that's baby
secret.
Mama daddy issues. You know,
it's true.
Drama. That's a little different than Madara coming back and there was a big queen rabbit bitch that they had to defeat and stuff. That's a little different.
It makes it sound really weird when you put it that way. But you got to realize too, despite the fact that these are like peace times, this is still a ninja village. They're still basically like a paramilitary, and they have to keep some things secret.
Yes, they do. And also the kids, very well trained. I think this generation is a better combat generation than the last because what happened the first time Naruto saw real combat? He froze.
He froze completely in his tracks.
Not the case. Not the case in this battle.
I mean, you know, Chocho and Sarada were fighting against Shin Uchiha with almost no problems whatsoever at the beginning of the battle. Especially, I loved how Sarada was running on the chain and how Chocho was using her expansion jutsu to just smack him into the ground. But Shin himself is pretty cool. I like how he summoned this like chain and this giant shuriken and was swinging it around like a flail, like the freaking god of war. It was awesome. And then, of course, you had Naruto, who just showed up at the very end. He was using his Sage Mode to try and sense all of them. And I love how he just showed up right upon the impact of Shin's attack, and he was able to get Chocho and Sarada out of the way. And that final bit of dialogue is really interesting, because he actually makes it seem as if he knows who Shin Uchiha is, or who he's affiliated with. And Shin even claims that that one Akatsuki member, like, is his father. This could be because A, he actually is his father, or B, he was created by this guy. Because for all we know, Shin, just like, you know, maybe he's an Edo Tensei, maybe he's a Zetsu body, maybe he was spawned from the Ten Tails. There's so many possibilities behind it, but I think it's awesome, because I love the look of the new villain. I especially love the creepy eye that's being forced open. Just, I'm excited more for the villains than anything.
Yes, I think that the villains are super important. They have to nail it with these villains to make me care. They have to find a dynamic that makes me care, because Naruto and Sasuke are just so damn powerful. Like, they can't be the heroes of this fight because they'll destroy. Or if they're the ones that have to step in to save the world, that villain was too powerful for the kids to even have a chance to do anything against. You know, like, so the dynamic of this villain moving forward is very important and something I'm very interested in seeing unfold. So, what do you give this one out of 5?
I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5,
yeah,
mostly for all of the action at the end, learning more about the villains, actually getting a name for the villain. I think that's incredibly important. The first half of the chapter is not horrible, but I just wish it would move a little bit quicker through it, so maybe we could get to the action, because
it's always been like a Naruto thing, though.
I know.
They get bogged down in the friendship bullshit and the dynamics of everyone, but that's also what makes them so strong when they go to battle together. So, you know, that's the yin and the yang of this series.
But it wasn't, like, entirely bad. Like, there were a few moments I got a few chuckles, you know. I don't think Chocho's that funny. I do think it's really funny, though, that she thinks everybody's always trying to hit on her. Like, when Mitsuki, like, pulled her aside. And Mitsuki, that's another character. You know, just getting to see him walk around is awesome, because he's just, again, just another mysterious character. We don't know a lot about him, so I'm still really intrigued by the rest of the series, but considering that this is a mini-series, they really need to start ramping it up just a little bit more.
Yeah, very exciting.
And maybe more Boruto would be nice.
Well, you know, they focused on Sasuke a lot in Naruto, and now they're doing it with his daughter. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. We always appreciate the views and the comments. Really, the community that we've built here, we don't even like to call you guys fans, because that makes us feel like we're above you, and that we're not. We're just normal people that love talking about this stuff, so we couldn't say thank you enough. We really appreciate it. Make sure and like our videos and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, all that jazz. And if you want to donate to the channel, we have a PayPal link, or you can donate through just buying things on Amazon with our Amazon Associates link. So use that. We make it really easy for you. Bookmark it as your Amazon link. So you just don't even have to think about it ever again, but you'll be helping us out a lot. Thank you guys so much for all this stuff. And until next time, stay dandy, baby.
There's nothing goofy about this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden. There is only pain, there is only fire, and then nothing.